I was right. We're on episode 13 now. So welcome back, everyone. Do I want to fast travel? Not extremely far away. You know what? Yeah, I'll walk it and talk to the people. All 0 of you. So yeah, we were talking about the fact that I want to help Bethesda. Well, technically, I just want to help any game company to make a greater open world RPG experience to where there's so much you can do. The story is really, really good and tight, and technically, you don't need mods to enjoy the game better. I think that should be the goal for Bethesda, to make a quality game that's not buggy, that works as it should, that has a lot of features that weren't cut out. Cyberpunk. And that, let's see. It just has like a solid story, great side quests that aren't like the same thing, like, oh, go here, fetch this, oh, go here, kill this. Like, there's gotta be variety. Great romance system, right? Just overall, just like a great, fantastic game. Because let's look at, in a lot of people's opinion, the greatest RPG, open world RPG. For a lot of people, the greatest open world RPG is Fallout New Vegas. And yes, Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout open world RPG game. And in fact, it's the best Fallout game. I don't know if I would say it's the best RPG ever, but it has less issues than Morrowind. The problem is, when it comes to an RPG, open world RPG, I don't think there's the best of all time yet. I think there's always been games that have been on the verge of it. There's always been games like Morrowind, the Mass Effect series, Dragon Age series, well, probably except for 2, and Fallout New Vegas, and technically 1 and 2 as well. There's always been games that are very, very close, but they leave out just enough to not be considered the best of all time, even though technically they are, because they're the only ones. What I'm trying to say is, they've always been close, but not the greatest. So let's use Fallout New Vegas as an example. Fallout New Vegas is great with your decisions matter, but I don't think there was enough of that. And of course, they had a time limit on the game. I know it's not their fault for certain reasons, but what you want in an open world RPG is you want your decisions to matter. You want the little things, like, let's say, oh hey, I'm going to this farm, and there's a guy there who, his cows ran away, and you can help him get his cow back, right? And now that's a one-off little thing that doesn't need to affect the overall story or whatever, but what if, because you've helped his cow, later on during the story, there's like some sort of event where like you become homeless, or you need help and need to find a place to like hide out. Because you helped the farmer, he then helps you, right? And I actually would like it. So like, let's say my character goes into a town and I kill someone right in the town in the game, and the police, of course, or guards or whatever, arrest me. But then once I serve my time, everyone kind of forgets about it, right? That kind of doesn't make sense. What I would like to see is, like, let's say I do that and then get arrested. I would like jail events that could happen. So, like, different things, or of course you could skip them, but I would like different things that could happen while you're serving out your sentence. And I would love it if the people not only remembered, but hey, let's say that random person you killed was, like, I don't know, someone very important, like someone's family, like a noble family, and that was a very important member of their family. So then they hunt you down and try to end you, right? Like, that would be more interesting than just, hey, I did this, and now I'm gonna serve out my time, right? Or going back to the farmer. So you help him out, right? And then later on in the story, he helps you. Why not have, like, the other farm, like the rival farm, not like that? They're like, oh man, I can't believe you helped that guy. We were so close to running him out of the business, and then you had to help him, and now we can't compete. Now we're going out of business. Or something like where, yeah, you could do that, or you could discover that other farm first, and then help them get him out of the business while pretending to help the farmer. So, like, when I say pretending to help the farmer, like, okay, I'm going out there, I'm gonna find the cow for the farmer, but then you slaughter the cows. Now, he didn't see you slaughter the cows, right? Or you could just pretend to go to look for them, but he thinks you've gone. Then you could, like, weave a story. It's like, oh man, I looked for your cows, and yeah, I found them. And, oh, it was a bloody sight. Monster got them. It's so terrible. And if you're good at bluffing, if you're really good at bluffing, then he'll believe you and be very saddened. Or if you're crap at bluffing, then he'll be like, what the heck? Why are you lying to me, right? So, like, it's just the little things can go a long, long way. And I have way too many examples of this. I'm just spewing off the top of my head right now because, you know, I'm trying to play this game, but... What is this? Oh, Caravan Guard, okay. I thought he was a raider. I was like, why is a raider there? Like, that type of stuff can go a long way and be very, very helpful for open world RPGs. Because I think the ultimate goal is... Okay, so first thing was you want your decisions to matter. You want stories to be impactful. You want to feel like you're actually making change, if that's your goal in the game. You want people to remember you, to recall your actions. I like the idea of, let's say, you're wearing a mask, right? They shouldn't recognize you unless you have a very distinct body. Like, maybe that's a character trait, like distinct body, where even if you wear a mask, because people saw that body, they recognize you. That could be interesting. But I like the idea of, if you change your clothes and, like, wear a disguise, it's gonna be harder for people to figure that out, because it's like, oh, totally new person, hello, how are you, right? Like, that would be so much better than just, like, I'm wearing a completely different outfit, I'm completely covered, but yet the people recognize me. That'd be so much better. Another thing to be better, excuse me for a second. Another thing to be better is, like, in the romance where it's like, okay, yeah, like let's use Skyrim for example. You've had to get a necklace, you know, necklace of Mara, amulet of Mara, excuse me. You had to pay, like, what was it, 200 gold, 500 gold, something like that, to actually be like, hey, now that I'm wearing this, if someone's available, they'll be like, oh, hey, you're looking for marriage. I hated that, but at the same time, I liked it because it was like, oh, hey, we can finally get married in the game. But wouldn't it be way much better if you do it where, like, you actually had to talk to the people, you had to be like, gain the interest, and you could have more than just romance. You could be like, okay, yes, I want to get married to this character, or I want to sleep with, like, these 30 different characters, or whatever. And, like, you could even do dates, like, having date events, and, like, the character is actually coming up with the idea, and, like, even the player could be like, let's go to that tower over there. I'm gonna grab a picnic supply, and we'll have a picnic there. You know, that stuff would be so much better than what we normally get. And that's my thing. I want to make, or at least help, because I can't, like, physically program or anything. But I want to make a game that is very, very different from what we normally have. And it's impactful, and people will actually be like, okay, this is the best of all time. All the other games I thought were the best pale in comparison. And it's a game that you can get lost in and actually want to come back to. My whole philosophy for open world RPGs, it's like, okay, oh, excuse me, for the next month, I'm gonna play this. Maybe not every day, but I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna get lost into the world, I'm gonna do a lot of the stories, maybe the main story. But then, oh hey, a new game's coming out. And I'll stop playing for a little bit, play that new game, enjoy it, and then go back. Like, I want that. I want the game that I want to make with them to be the game you always come back to, regardless. And there's not only do you always come back to it, but there's so many things you can do that you are never like, oh man, I have no idea what to do. This is boring. Well, that's my little rant on how to do open world RPGs a lot better. Because roleplay and making decisions that matter and all that type of stuff is so much better. Okay, wait, why? What am I doing again? Was I trying to meet Piper, or am I supposed to get back to Nick? What am I? Did she go outside? Like, was she in there and then went out? Oh yeah, and I love the idea for options, right? So, like, I could play the standard version of the game, or I could play, like, I could set the options to be like, okay, my hunger and thirst, I need to keep track of that. Weight limit onto what I can stand on, but also what I can carry. Let me turn that feature on. So, like, a lot of options. Like, make the options matter, and there's a lot of different features. You could even do for, like, romance. Like, okay, if I get into a relationship with someone, but then get into another with another person, as long as they're in the same area, they're going to be jealous. Or, not, that doesn't matter. You can relationship with anyone, as many people as want, kind of like a Fallout 4. Or you can even do something where it's like, you turn off I'm missing the words, but it's like, okay, this character is lesbian, so if I make a male, I can't romance them, and so on and so forth. You could be like, okay, let me turn that off so everyone's available. Like, that type of stuff. You can even do a fun thing where it's like, hey, standard blood color is red, let me change it to green. That'll be more funny. Or more fun, excuse me.
Come on, Nikki. I'm just asking for your opinion. Be a great quote.
She's my client, Piper. Why don't you learn not to snoop on a woman's private affairs?
Well, well, speak of the devil.
Why don't you learn not to snoop on a woman's private?
Not with your son. What happened?
Oh, bunch of butterflies. You were right.
You were right, Nick. Kellogg took my baby. That wasn't all. He was working with the Institute. He gave them Sean.
The Institute? Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, friend. Truly. That makes things considerably more complicated.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Heck, Nick's a synth, and even he doesn't know how to get in.
No synth does. Security protocols strip those memories out.
Mm. I need to know the way. I need the way.
I need to find a way.
Do you know the way?
I've been investigating these creeps for over a year now. The Commonwealth's boogeyman. Feared and hated by everyone.
True enough.
Sometimes they snatch people in the middle of the night, and sometimes they leave old synths behind to remind us that they're out there. But to this day, there's one thing nobody really knows.
Where the Institute actually is.
How big are their dicks?
Exactly. But there's one person who has to know, right? The guy who just handed them Sean.
Kellogg. Huh.
You
read my mind.
He had to have a way in and out.
Yeah, but something tells me he's not gonna drop by for a chat and coffee.
Well, I mean, if we did my idea like I was talking about, there would be the option to leave him alive, convince him of his ways, or pay him or whatever, and be like, okay, yeah, come on over, tell us what happened.
We can talk to him. Feel like holding a seance?
Literal dead end, huh?
So,
Yep.
a murderer and kidnapper gets his brains blown out by an avenging parent. Huh. Be a great ending if we didn't still have the biggest mystery in the Commonwealth to solve.
Doesn't matter what he knew. I'd kill him again in a heartbeat.
Gets his brains blown out. Huh. His brains.
Aw, Pepper just like,
You
oh, they
know,
both did.
we
Aw.
may not need the
I
man
get
at
that,
all.
I get it.
You're
And I
talking
like that
crazy
feature.
here, Nick.
That's something I
Got
would
a
keep.
fault in the old subroutines?
Look, there's a place in Good Neighbor called the Memory Den. Relive the past moments in your mind as clear as the day they happened. If anyone could get a dead brain to sing, it'll be Dr. Amari, the mind behind the memories.
Dr. Amari.
Who's this Dr. Amari?
I'll let her give you her life story in person. Let's stay focused. Guess we're gonna need a piece of Kellogg's brain. Enough gray matter to bring to Amari and find out if this is going to work.
Jesus, Nick. Gross. Seriously?
I know it's grisly, but what choice do we have? Got no leads, nothing. That old merc's brain just might have all the secrets we need to know.
I'm gonna need a really sharp ice cream scoop.
I'm sure you'll manage.
Whether we're riding this crazy brain train or not, we can't all go running across the Commonwealth, so... Who's coming with that?
I have to go to the
See, I don't like that there's a limit. By default, have it so you can take as many people as you want. I get the reason for limits. I get the reason for limits.
I'll head out with Piper.
Yeah,
We'll meet
Piper.
you there, Nick.
Sounds good.
Piper and Kate are my Piper, Kate, and Curie are my favorites.
We're gonna get your boy back. Just a few more steps.
Okay. Piper.
Hey. Hey, Piper.
You know, the Institute has a lot of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
The Minutemen tangled with them once. The Railroad still does. I've even got some notes on those new guys. The Brotherhood of Steel.
Let me quick save real quick.
You
Railroad.
said something about the railroad?
Supposedly they help runaway synths escape the Institute, but
Yep.
they're secretive. Ultra paranoid. The only thing I have is a rumor. A code phrase.
Follow the Freedom Trail. Brotherhood.
That Brotherhood airship is hard to miss.
The Brotherhood of Steel doesn't do subtle. From what I've heard, they take whatever they want, especially if it's high tech. They just might have the muscle to give the Institute a run for their money, but they're... Let's just say they have their own agenda.
Minutemen.
Tell me about the Minutemen.
You know that group you rescued and conquered?
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, they're the last Minutemen left in the Commonwealth. They used to be a volunteer army, dedicated to protecting friends, family, and neighbors. Sounds soft, but they were a real thing at one point.
Soft? Never mind.
We should get going.
All right.
Alright, and I'm going to leave. I'm going to do a full save. And then, well, actually, I'm going to stop recording now. So, and this will actually be my final recording for the day, at least for Fallout 4. I might actually start Shining Force 2. Who knows? I've been wanting to record that game for a while. But until then, it's been the Michael Cage, signing out.